All right, what's going on, guys? So, good news. Today, we're going to be doing the seat for episode 4. So, I had a friend who was able to weld in the seat pan for me, and it looked super clean, really good. Happy with how it turned out. I'm going to be doing today's video a little different, so let's just jump right into it. I'm going to be voicing over the video, and yeah, we'll get straight into it. So, as you can see, we got the good welds going on. And then this is how my electrical is going to be set up so everything fits under the seat. So I welded on these 2 bars across the frame, which the latch for the seat is going to sit. So all I did was drill 2 holes where I'm making those markings to connect it to that crossbar. The top piece is going to be fitted onto the bottom of the seat. And then this is the release. So I'm gonna make a keyhole in the pan that you'll be able to access from under the fender right there. So I had to take these 2 little screws from the seat. They were pretty much melted into that plastic. So next I got all of the supplies. So this is saran wrap to wrap the bike, fiberglass, the resin, a tool to smooth out the fiberglass, and some foam, which I was originally going to make the hump out of, but it didn't end up working out. So first step, I just wrapped up the bike to not get the resin anywhere. Shit makes a mess, so it was all over the place. I'm glad I wrapped it. So I cut the fiberglass into a few different sizes. I heard that making them small as possible is what works best. So I had some small, some medium, and now we just get to mix in the epoxy. All of this stuff comes with the epoxy. This is just a hardener that gets put in, and then you mix it up. You got to be careful not to put too much in though, because it will start to harden while it's in the cup like that. So I started off with the bolts, just getting enough fiberglass around them that will hold them to the seat. So those bolts will basically be a part of the seat once it's all together, and the latch from the seat will just connect to those bolts, and then it'll all be one piece. So I started off with the small pieces, just throwing some fiberglass down in the resin, and it's a very slow and tedious process. You can't rush it, which I definitely was rushing. This tool was kind of pointless because as soon as it got resin on it, it started to harden, and then it was pretty much not usable just because it had a bunch of resin and wasn't making smooth rolls, I guess. And yeah, it just wasn't worth it. Definitely also use brushes that you don't care about because they will get hardened and ruined. So I let that dry for a little bit and started with the second layer. I figured it'd be easier kind of to tear it up and make it so that the pieces were less stiff. But I think this was a bad idea because now I had a bunch of little fiberglass pieces that were hard, that it was like hair in your gel that just doesn't get any softer. So it didn't create a smooth surface. Also, the reason I don't have the foam hump right now is because I needed to get those bolts to be one with the seat with the fiberglass. So here I put in the foam hump, which I totally just rushed because I was done at this point. This thing is so annoying to work with. So I was just really frustrated, just like seeing what I could do, because at this point I had no faith in it. Alright guys, so this is the seat we have. This is after my first session with it. But we have the 2 pins right here, that was some padding. So my idea for the bolts did end up working because it does lock in and stay locked in. Everything fits under there. So I was like, let me keep going with this. I'll be able to use some putty to just get over all the lumps and stuff and be able to make it look nice. So I just started shaping it up, cutting off the edges so that I can get a better idea of how this thing is going to look. This is nowhere close to to done right now. Also, whenever cutting this stuff, definitely wear a mask as heavy as you can because you don't want to be breathing in fiberglass. Definitely not good for you. So you can see the fitment isn't all that great, but I still have hope that maybe I can fix it up a little bit. I added some more fiberglass to the hump, just trying to make it look a little more natural, a little more round. And at this point I know I definitely am going to need putty to make this thing look like an actual cafe racer seat. So this is how it looks after the second application of fiberglass. I decided I would just kind of sand it down a little bit and start adding this putty, and hopefully I can get it to look a little bit rounder and somewhat good. Definitely just make sure you're always wearing a mask while doing this stuff as well. I just washed it down to keep the air follicles as to a minimum. So I got this stuff at Home Depot as well. You just mix it and throw in the hardener. It all comes together, and just started piling this on, trying to get it to, take shape. So I definitely have a little more hope in this seat. I'm not sure if this is going to be the final version, but this is how far I've gotten on the seat, and I'm keeping the bike at a friend's house right now, which his house is for sale and it's probably going to sell in the near future. So I kind of got unmotivated by this seat, put it to the side for now, and just going to get going with the rest of the bike. So the next episode is going to be prepping the engine. I'll be painting the engine as well. I'm finally getting the frame powder coated. So yeah, that'll be the next video. Stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching.